I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. In between thirst promos, where every headline's a revelation.
Hey, everybody. Give me 1 second. All right. The men behind the curtain. This is my opinion. I'm not pretending it's radical to say what is plainly visible for anyone to look at. The world feels unstable right now because it is unstable, and it's not by accident. Everywhere you look, there's another incident, another crisis, another war, another emergency demanding your fear, your attention, and your compliance. And at some point, an adult has to ask the question, who benefits? Because chaos is expensive, and yet somehow the same people keep getting richer. We're told these events are random, unpredictable, tragic coincidences. But when you follow the money, not the headlines, not the hashtags, not the emotional bait, you keep running into the same web of power. Billionaire-funded NGOs, unelected global institutions, defense contractors, financial speculators, pharmaceutical conglomerates, and ideological networks that operate above national sovereignty, usually using religion as their shield. This is not left versus right anymore. This is the governed versus the governors. The Wizard of Oz analogy fits because that's exactly what this is. A booming voice, a manufactured illusion, and a carefully hidden man behind the curtain pulling levers. We are ruled, not represented. Look at how easily death and destruction are used as tools. Wars erupt, populations are displaced, economies collapse, and somehow this is always framed as necessary, humanitarian, or for your safety. But safety for whom? Because it's never the elites burying their children. It's never the technocrats losing their homes. It's never the NGOs missing a paycheck. There is a deeply disturbing ideology that keeps resurfacing throughout history. One that says there are too many people, too hard to manage, too difficult to control. That mindset doesn't come from compassion. It comes from arrogance. When humans become statistics, policies become cruel. When life is reduced to numbers, suffering becomes acceptable. That's why population control rhetoric, endless war, medical authoritarianism, and economic dependency always travel together. And here's the real scam. While this power class consolidates wealth and control, they distract us with identity politics, race against race, gender against gender, ideology against ideology. They want us fractured because a divided population doesn't ask questions. A divided population doesn't follow the money. A divided population fights itself while someone else writes the rules. Why do we keep allowing our government to use our money fraudulently, funding foreign conflicts endlessly, propping up unaccountable institutions, and enriching people who never face elections, like sending money to Somalia? The people of Iran are certainly standing up for their freedoms. As Americans, what are we afraid of? Our Constitution literally allows for that. Because we've been trained to believe resistance is dangerous. That's our problem. But history tells a different story. Every empire that fell thought it was untouchable. Every ruling class believed people would never wake up. And every technocracy underestimated what happens when illusion breaks. Look around the world right now. People are pushing back against systems they were told were permanent. People are refusing narratives they were told were absolute. People are remembering that governments derive power from consent, not fear. And here's the uncomfortable question Americans need to ask themselves. If people living under far harsher conditions can stand up to unaccountable power, what exactly are we afraid of? Because no one is asking for violence. No one is asking for chaos. We are asking for truth, for transparency, for accountability. We are asking to stop being treated like livestock in managed systems. This is not about hating nations, religions, or cultures. This is about confronting a global elite class that believes it should decide how many people exist, how free they are, and how much suffering is acceptable. The moment we stop playing their games, the moment we refuse to be emotionally manipulated, the moment we follow the money instead of the narrative, the curtain falls, and the wizard is exposed, not as a god, not as a savior, but as a man who needed secrecy to survive. That's not extremism, that's awakening. And once people see it, they don't go back to sleep. Welcome, everybody. I see Jack in the chat, Jarvis, G.A. Graham sends a thumbs up. Hello. So yes, we are officially streaming with Rumble Studio. We need as many live viewers on Rumble as possible. And John says, you're beautiful. And production says, I look perfect on Rumble. Wow, thank you. Rumble video quality is stellar compared to Instagram. You only get this much of me on Instagram. And on Rumble, let me see your phone. Look at this, Insta peeps. Look at that. You get the wide shot. And Mikey said, it's easy to conquer. Graham says, good point. That's right. Seth, welcome, Seth. George needs a boot back to 1940s Germany. Razzle dazzle, you're so gorgeous. Any chance you're into older, out of shape, bald, married white guys? I am. Except my husband, he matches all of that, except for he's not white. Just kidding. JK. My husband's hair would be like his brother's bald head, but he has me, and I'm a hairdresser of 23 years, so I know how to keep your hair from falling off, as long as you do exactly what I say. And we're both out of shape. We were just talking about that today, that we want to go back to the gym. The gym would, I've got so much frustration. I think the gym would be the next option, since none of y'all actually wanted to buy my punching bag that got offered to me. I have no idea how many viewers are on Rumble now. I basically cannot see any of you. Oh, well then, what is this? Okay, okay. All right, so I cannot really see who is all in Rumble from back here. Maybe it says 5 people up here. Okay, now I need 5 more people to join on Rumble. So anybody who wants to watch on Instagram, go over there. What do I have on the menu for you today? We have the listener hotline that is going to open 3 times through the show. So if you want to call in, just like the old days, Delilah, remember her? Remember Loveline, Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla? When you could call in and chat. I'm also a psychologist, so I talk about more than just politics. I talk about really how politics really is a spiritual battle. And the root word of psychology is psyche, which is Greek for spirit. So yes, you can call and have a chat with me. It is live. You won't be on video. It's just a phone number. It's really fun. We opened it up last week. That was a blast. So it's something I'm going to do every time. And then also I will announce fan of the day at the end of the show, and you will get my autographed lipstick kissed show notes mailed to you via producer Ryan. Don't message me and give me your address because you think I want it. I don't. No offense. But producer Ryan is responsible for getting the package of show notes out. So send it to him and I will give you his handle at the end of the show. And you have to be here for the whole show. If you go away, then someone else just has to be second pick, and that doesn't feel good. But that's the only qualifier, is you have to be here through the whole show and you have to bring like the vibes. So welcome to the troll. Welcome my Troll Patrol and my Luna Legion. I see you guys in there. I see all of you. And if you want to join Troll Patrol or the Luna Legion, message producer Ryan. And we'll tell you all about that. And if you want access to chat with me, you have to subscribe to my channel. And I will be able to chat with you like we're friends, you know? If it isn't, I get so many messages now. It's really hard for me to find the people that, you know, have been following me for a while. So if you don't subscribe, like those messages are set different. So if you don't subscribe, I'm going to have a hard time finding your DMs. I try to be responsive, but the best way to truly lock me down and have a chat is by subscribing. On Thursday, we will have a congressional candidate for Florida district. Shoot, what district is she? Let me look. It's District 23. Raven. Forgot her last name. Shoot. Raven Harrison. She's beautiful. She will be in studio talking about her campaign. And as a former congressional candidate, she's looking for my endorsement. So after this interview, we will see. So then next week, I will be having the conservative Guido on the show to have a chat about spirituality and politics and how the two really are not separate. They're the same. They're under the same umbrella. And Seth says, who was your little buddy this afternoon? He was cute. She is my new pet baby rat. Her name is Spirit. She's 2 months old, so she's still very scared of like loud noises, fast moving. She's really doing really good for being 2 months old, sitting on my shoulder like that. She really is starting to realize like, oh, that's mommy. I'm safe with her. But it's still kind of risky, you know, carrying her around the house, because going outside of my room or bathroom, she just automatically gets scared and she's just really scurry. And, you know, so right now she's really only knows one part of the house. And it's always better, Mike, to get 2 rats if you have to work or if you can't spend a lot of time with your rat during the day. This is my second rat. I got a single rat because when I had my last rat, I took her everywhere. So if my life ends up where I can't do that, I will be getting a second rat, because they do not thrive when they're lonely. They have to have buddies and cuddle time and mutual grooming. So they really psychologically deteriorate, because that is part of the rat life. And so, you know, I take her out a lot during the day. I go sit, if I'm working, I sit next to her, you know, and I'm present with her. When I have her out, I pet her. They think you're grooming. So today was the first day she actually made attempts to groom me back. Like, she got a little nervous, but she would like start. So she like came up to my mouth and gave me little nibbles, and she saw I had a little earwax in my ear, and she kept trying to go clean my ears. Which Yeah, which means she's bonding with me as her owner. Because they won't clean you if they're not bonded to you. And another sign is like when I go to pet her, when you go to pet your rat, when they dip their head down and they lower their head, they're giving you their head to groom them. You in your mind are petting them. But I take my little nails and I do little pinches and stuff and make her think I'm picking off dirt. And, she's just really turning out to be a little light in my life. Okay, we got viewership growing on Rumble. And I need one more to qualify for a milestone. And so yeah, let's come on over. But I also, from what I understand, it seems like I have to have a subscription myself to be able to like monetize, I guess. I want this one though. Okay. Well, we'll make the attempt. So, all right, here we go, folks. This is what I have on the menu. Data, if you're over there, I can't see you. Hey, looks like MK. What's up, MK? How are you? Okay, what do I have on the menu for you today? Oh, that must be Knutson. Awesome. So glad for once he could get on. He works at night, and it's been really hard for him to join in live, but that's my best friend from home. Not from childhood, but from like early adult life. He was 19 and I was 24 when we met. And he like carried me through my divorce and my son dying. And so we're really close. Friends for life, ride or die. Like I'll kill for that person, All right. And there's only 3 people really in my life I would do that for. And that's my husband, my 2 daughters, and Mike. And, that's the way it is. All right. So justice for Roseanne Boylan. Who's running the show? Anna Paulina Luna dropping bombs on Erica Kirk. Scariest thing about TPUSA. Iranians protesting. At that point, we'll open the hotline. You look so good in your sweater. Abolish the police. Finally, someone is saying it. Then we'll have a break for an ad. The hidden trade. Should we sell Greenland? We'll open the hotline again. Walls gets cooked. I can't believe liberal protesters aren't taken seriously. It's illegal to do what in Florida? I bet you're wondering why you should date Doug. Let's not have a conversation, I guess. Open the hotline again. And then the last video, Megyn Kelly still pissed about Shapiro. And then fan of the day. So at the end of fan of the day. So look, for fan of the day, you just got to bring the vibes. Chat with me. Chat with the other people watching. Chase the trolls off. Do whatever you want. This is a free speech zone. So I encourage lots of interaction. And if you bring the good vibes, you will win fan of the day. All right. So Seth says, now you know how Backwater and I feel about you and Ryan. I know. Seth and Backwater and Gilly are part of the Luna Legion and Troll Patrol. So they get free merch. And I am paying for their shirts. So they'll be getting a little love from us here soon for being loyal OGs. If I have missed any of you OGs, even if this is a recording and you're watching it after the fact, message me. Because it's just easier for me. Like, it's hard for me to remember if you're not like, who's there, who's been there, if you're not right there interacting with me. And I know it's hard to be on. I already said that. Be on every live. All right. First important thing we need to do, first order of business, is discuss the fact that, when J6 happened, Ashley Babbitt got all the press. Roseanne Boylan did not, but she was another woman that was brutally murdered by idiot cops that were lunchroom, basically FBI staff that don't do crowd control that Nancy Pelosi instructed to all of a sudden do crowd control, knowing that they were going to instigate this entire event. And these cops beat this woman to death. She was very overweight. She was not a threat. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that to show you how she wasn't fit. She couldn't run fast. You know, this woman was not a physical threat. And a friend of mine who did the right thing, the good thing, and intervened with the police and told them to stop, ended up in prison because of this. And so Roseanne Boylan's been someone that I know who's needed her name said a lot, because Ashley Babbitt, for some reason, is the one everyone talks about. And we've been after justice for Roseanne Boylan, especially if you see the video that happened to Roseanne Boylan. It will make your heart hurt. So, first video is Justice for Roseanne Boylan.
Roseanne Boylan was one of the 4 deaths that occurred at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and her story is perhaps the least well-known of that fateful day. In this video, you are about to witness what happened to Roseanne Boylan in the Lower West Terrace Tunnel. From the body-worn camera of MPD Officer Jack Wade Witten, we begin in real-time speed. Then, slowed to 1/4 speed to get a closer look into what transpired. Watch closely. In the lower right corner, Metropolitan Police Officer Lila Morris reaches down beside the unresponsive body of Roseanne Boylan. She picks up a walking stick. With both hands, she raises it above her head and brings it down with full force. Not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 times, 5 strikes. 3 of those blows land directly on the motionless body of Roseanne Boylan. Now back to real-time speed to see how fast it all actually happened.
This is so shameful.
Next, we look at it from a second angle.
And
this
you could
time
tell
from MPD
that
office.
these weren't cops that have any practice with this, because no cop, no street cop, no cop that's used to the threat of combat is going to have dreads, because that's a hazard. Someone could grab your dreads and yank you. I mean, that's a massive hazard to have long hair when you have combat threats. So you can tell by little clues, especially if you're in law enforcement, and if Texas is on, he'll probably comment. But if you're have any experience with the military, law enforcement, you know they don't keep long hair for this reason. And this is the reason why women braid their hair down or pull it back in a bun, because you don't want your dreads being covered. So there's little tiny clues where you can tell these people were not trained for this. So just trigger warning as I continue.
Sir Lila Morris's own body-worn camera, first in real-time speed, then slowed down to 1/4 speed.
Look at this. Look at this.
From this first-person perspective, we clearly see the walking stick lying beside Roseanne Boylan's unconscious body. Officer Morris picks it up. 2 hands, overhead, full force. The first strike hits
Look,
Luke
and you see
Coffey's
the men
elbow.
right there saying, stop, stop. There's men right here. My friend was the one that freaking first jumped in to fight the cops. And that, to me, is a hero. I mean, you're fighting people in badges because you can see in front of your eyes they're committing a murder. Hey, Backwater, glad to see you on Rumble. Very nice.
The second glances off and continues downward toward Roseanne.
Look at this. Someone trying to protect her, putting an arm.
The third strike lands squarely on Roseanne Boylan's abdomen.
Look at this. This is, and then
The fourth,
Look at
a
this.
one-handed
Look at
blow,
this. Look at
hits her
this.
shoulder. The fifth and final strike comes down on her head and neck area. Only then does the stick leave NPD officer Lila Morris's hand. Finally, we show it once more in real-time speed
Watch
for you to
this.
see how quickly it all happened. To this day, the official cause of death for Roseanne Boylan remains acute amphetamine intoxication or a drug overdose.
a lie.
That concludes.
That is a lie. That is a forged toxicology report. I am deep into this issue on a personal level. This is a lie.
Conclusion is not supported by this video, by family testimony, eyewitnesses, nor by nationally recognized subject matter experts.
And anybody knows if you're amped up on amphetamine of any type, amphetamine salts, methamphetamine or amphetamine salts, you have like super strength. When your adrenaline kicks in, fat or skinny, you got like super strength kicking in, and that is not what we saw.
According to Stanley Kephart, one of the nation's leading use of force experts, striking an unconscious person with an unauthorized weapon violates every lawful use of force standard officers are legally bound to follow. We contend this conduct crosses the line of law into criminal behavior. Most critically, Roseanne Boyland never regains consciousness again after those blows. Were these the strikes that killed her? Was Officer Lila Morris's use of force justified?
No.
The Metropolitan Police Department claims it investigated and publicly declared it found her actions justified. But the evidence...
But it wasn't just her. It was a bunch of them attacking her, which is why the girl ended up unconscious.
You just witnessed tells a far different story. This is why today we are calling for an immediate, independent, and comprehensive investigation into the Metropolitan Police Department, the U.S. Capitol Police, Officer Lila Morris. We implore President Trump to immediately appoint a special counsel to look into the death of Roseanne Boyland, along with other violations and unlawful conduct of law enforcement officers on January 6, 2021. The truth has been kept hidden and suppressed for way too long. Those responsible have not been held accountable at all. We are here to demand justice for Roseanne Boyland's legacy and will never give up until we get it. To learn more about the Roseanne Boyland criminal referral and to review far more details regarding her murder, please visit justiceforroseanne.com. This video is presented by the America First Justice Restoration Project in partnership with Cara Castronova Investigations. Follow Cara Castronova on X, Instagram, and Truth Social. Watch her daily reporting on Lindell TV and read her work at the Gateway Pundit. America First Justice Restoration Project believes government exists to secure rights, not to dispense favors. We believe the law must apply equally, or it ceases to be law. We also believe accountability safeguards liberty, and only justice can sustain a free republic. Learn more, subscribe,
only justice can sustain a free republic. Roseanne Boyland did not die anonymously. She died on camera at the hands of government agents, while the institutions charged with safeguarding truth, justice, and accountability choose a deafening silence. This crime was perpetrated by the Metropolitan Police Department, aided by the U.S. Capitol Police, dramatized by a complicit mainstream media, and cemented by the J6 Unselect Committee's deliberate omission and destruction of evidence exposes something far larger than one woman's death. All right. So, please pay attention to that. Please do your research because you'll find out other things doing that research. Which is, you know, this is why I said what I said in my opening monologue. You know, it's puppet masters doing this with little paid puppets going, they caused all of this for a fucking documentary, which was supposed to be basically a friggin' hit piece. You know what I'm saying? On Trump. So, next video. Is who's running the show?
Say the word. Dan Bongino, the new FBI deputy director, can't even say the word. Listen.
You know Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East.
So you mean Israel? It's like he's not allowed to say it or something. But wait, there's more.
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my
Watch this.
Israel.
Israel.
So the main cause that's dear to the heart of the second in command of the FBI is not the United States? By the way, if you're new to this is how it works. A guy like Epstein will traffic children, bring them somewhere like on an island, for example, then invite politicians and celebrities and covertly film them having disgusting, inappropriate acts with these poor children so that these politicians and celebrities can be controlled for the rest of time through blackmail. And this is how you gain power over foreign governments. But I think people are starting to see it.
We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel.
Just say the word.
That's what Kash Patel said. So you see, back Backwater, what you doing back over on Instagram? Are you on both? Cool. I hope you're on both. All right. So that's how you know. Listen to what they say. If they start, you heard Dan Bongino, that sounded so forced. Israel, like, oh, here's my cue. I have to. So what do they have on you, Dan? Because no one says this unless they have blackmail on them. Have you not noticed this? What do they have on Kash Patel? It seems like the only persons they don't have anything on is Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Nick Fuentes. They already tried with me when I ran for Congress. And someone was, he was on, Andrew Tate was talking about it because, he ended up having to take refuge in Romania. He's like, no, he got jailed in Romania or something. And he did go to jail there. They try to set him up for human trafficking. The first thing they do is the sexual playbook, like make you look like a sexual deviant. That's the first thing they try to do to try to discredit you. But honestly, I don't think people care about that so much anymore. I mean, it's got to be provable and it's got to be kind of shocking for us to pay attention to it because they just keep using the same old tactics over and over and over and over and over. It's just, whatever. They said Rumble is lagging. That must be why the viewers are dropping off on Rumble. So I'm going to close that out and help it out a little bit. What's up, Daywalker and Fun Times? How you guys doing? All right. Miss Anna Paulina Luna dropping bombs on Erica Kirk.
But I do think that when the information isn't put out there directly, that's when you have a lot of these, could have Erica have been involved in any of that? And that's what I'm saying. I don't think that she at all had any connection to that. When I see that, it's like you're victimizing the victim, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, she did lose her husband. She lost her kids. Like, I was just with her at the White House, and she's, that's anyone. If that happened to your wife.
There goes my light. There goes my light. My light's blinking. Y'all can't see it off camera. She said two things. Number one, Anna Paulina Luna, I do not trust anymore. Because one, she's using the victimhood to make you to morally, she's like, oh, you can't, you're just, if you look at her, suspicious of her, you're just re-victimizing the victim. And so what? That's not, how many husbands and wives have had their lives turned upside down because the authorities wanted to investigate if they had something to do with it, because it's always the people closest to them that help, at the very least, facilitate a murder. And then the second thing she said was, and she lost her kids. So what were those kids? Central casting? Who took the kids? Israel? U.S. government? CPS? Charlie's family? Where are the kids? What do you mean she lost her kids? And if you guys are not looking at Erica Kirk at all, you really have no idea what's going on, and you've never paid attention to anything in history, because it's always the fucking people closest to them, and it takes more than one person to pull off an assassination. It takes the people on the inside to help you gain access to the victim. The real victim is Charlie Kirk, and I am incredibly suspicious of Erica Kirk because she seems like a handler, and that seems like an arranged marriage. And I was probably there goes my light, the first person to say it. And now all the big influencers are saying it. And I'm really aggravated I'm not bigger than them, because I'm the one that freaking caught on to this. Because when I tell you I'm a good psychologist, I'm a stellar psychologist. I mean, beyond a straight A student. I had over a 4.0 GPA. Can't remember if it was like 2 or 3, but it was like 4.2 or something like that. I was helping my professors teach my class. And that right there behind me is Phi Theta Kappa. And I'm in the same honor society in the same chapter, well, at the time, as Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. So when I tell you I know my shit, I know my shit, because you don't get offered to go into an elite honor society if you're going to make a fool of yourself, because you'll make a fool of them. So, what's up, John Garcia? How you doing, hun? Seth said, I joined a Facebook group back during Obama and was investigated by the FBI the same week. I believe you, because Biden was just an extension of Obama. And that whole scandal that's happening right now in Congress, in the Congress and the Senate, where they want answers for why their phones were tapped. Anyone running for office was also tapped. I was tapped. And they stayed on me for years. This show, I'm sure, has brought them back around me, because y'all know me. I'm ungovernable and I say what the fuck I want. I accuse who I feel like deserves being accused or looked at the very least. And I honor free speech. And is the fan pulling this out? And I will never be silenced. And that's the one thing that I've noticed is they're trying to silence us. They are coming after our free speech because they are losing the Christians in giving their money to Israel. That's why. So they don't want influential people talking, you know, or against them. So if they don't have blackmail on you, they try to freaking kill you, apparently. The name of the group was Sons of the Confederacy. The name of the group that did the same thing to me, Seth, was Guardians of Freedom. They are an FBI operative group. They are not a true 3%er group like the Proud Boys or other groups. Guardians of Freedom is an FBI op. So if you see them anywhere, run. They use a circular black logo with gray lettering with the Roman numerals 3 in there. And then, you know, the GOF around it. They just knew you were a white supremacist, huh? Oh, yeah, Seth. Look at you over here on my channel, you big white supremacist, you. All right. Scariest thing about TPUSA.
The strangest part isn't Charlie Kirk. It isn't even TPUSA. The strangest part is the lineage behind it. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino wrote a book called Mind War while stationed at the Presidio in San Francisco. Not a self-help book. Not a political rant. A blueprint for psychological warfare. Mass persuasion, narrative control, cognitive terrain, and
This is called dark psychology. Now, here's the thing. Satanists are widely misunderstood. As a psychologist, I have a lot of religious books. I have Anton LaVey's Satanic Bible, and then there's another Satanic Bible that I need to read. But they just believe, they don't really believe in like inflicting harm on people. There is a sect of dark psychology, dark magic, dark religion that has infiltrated the Satanist group, because if you actually do your research on who Satan is, you'll understand what I'm saying. But this group is tied to the Illuminati. The reason why they're called the Illuminati is because they have to put it out in print or symbols before they do it, because that's the moral obligation, is to not deploy a psyop on you without telling you they're going to do it, without telling you who they are and telling you what they stand for and who they worship. It's up to you to be smart enough and keen enough to catch it and also put all the puzzle pieces together. So this video is being a bit broad. I believe he may have led the Satanist church at some point, if my memory serves me correct, but I don't believe that this is entirely accurate, because at the same time, the guy from Led Zeppelin was alive, and I don't know is it Led Zeppelin? Yeah, Jimmy Page. He's the highest ranking member. And this is kind of occurring at a parallel time. So I think he was just also a high ranking member, but part of a different sect called the Illuminati, which is why he had to write this piece about how to do what they're doing. So that was the moral obligation, the shedding light. And because they also believe in free will, they don't believe that if you're a willing participant first. So basically, if you notice the imagery and you participate anyway, you're a willing participant. So it's not a crime on their part. It's kind of like consensual, non-consensual sexual acts. So what that is a woman who really, really desperately wants to be raped, like have it enacted very real. She wants the fear. She wants to feel afraid. She wants it to feel very real. But you talk about it and plan it ahead of time. Someone who would know about this is that actor I was just telling you about, on Piers Morgan, Armie Hammer. He got in big trouble because he was just being a man and ignorant a little bit with, women. You can't rape the willing. That's where the saying comes from here, from the Satanic Church. So this is along the lines of consensual, unconsensual sect act. So she's planned it out with him. She's told him, I'm using Armie Hammer as an example. Meet me at this Starbucks, or I'm going to be at this Starbucks at this time. You watch me, I want to know you're watching me, like pray. Follow me home, break into my apartment, have all the mysterious clothes on, do all of it. He even had a knife. He didn't really cut her, but he just held it to her. He didn't draw any blood or anything like that. And then they had this amazing night and they talked about it on text message, and he was like, wow, that was so honestly empowering. I felt like a god. And he really had a lot of trust to tell her this in writing, which is why this is why charges were never brought upon Armie Hammer, because what the Satanic Church is saying isn't totally inaccurate, because when you're dealing with free will, you can't rape the willing. So the case got thrown out. So when you have this situation where he's putting out, this piece, this writing on their plan, he lays out a research paper, this is the method that we're going to use. So that was a bit of explanation of dark psychology for you guys. That's one of my specialties, is dark psychology, because of growing up in a cult and being commoditized and abused as a child. So I sought to understand deeply, one, how is it possible to brainwash? In my world, it was 8 million people. Freely let them live among society and freely behave exactly as if they were in a commune, in all the classic cult ways. And how it could be so long lasting, and how people are so afraid to leave it. And then on the last layer of it through my journey was, now I have all of this trauma, and everyone else that I know has all of this trauma. And here are all of the traits that we all seem to share: alcoholism, addiction of some sort, be it process addictions like sex addiction or classic drug addiction, emotional dysregulation problems, trust issues, naivety issues, deep abandonment issues, and narcissism. We all leave it with this. And what do we do with this? And in order to, everyone tells you when you go to therapy, what I was realizing in my journey in life was, I'm going to therapy and they're just telling me what to do, but they're not telling me why I need to do this, because this doesn't feel natural for me. They're not breaking this down, why I need to do this. And if I understand the dark part of it, then it tells me actually how to fight it. Not just, well, I'm just going to do what I'm told. I'm not a grunt. You know, I'm a high level thinker, and it takes, if I'm in a high level war in psychologically now from the damage of this cult, I mean, this is high level mind control and brainwash that you have to undo. And so much of you feels like you're betraying yourself, that you are not sure if you're doing the right thing once you leave it. I mean, what you go through, because you just spent your entire life being shown this one very niche thing that is the pathway to eternal salvation. So you find yourself in this struggle of, am I doing the right thing, or am I trusting Satan? Is Satan getting to me? Is like, can I trust this person? It's a wild road to be on, and it is only for the strong. You can't be weak and survive this if you really truly want to be happy. And it takes complete and utter surrender of knowing, like, I'm potentially going to be, I'm fucked up for the rest of my life. Just accepting that I'm different, and understanding that that level and that battle is going to take, you can't just give me simple actions, I can't just take your orders. I need to know how to fight this demon, and I need to get to know that demon. And I learned that in recovery later in life. It circled back with the phrase, make friends with your demons. You have to understand how the evil works in this world to know what tools to bring to the war. You can go in on blind morality all day long, but that's going to still get you killed quick. And you were of use to what? You just got yourself killed. It takes, for all the dark psychology that is being used, it takes that same level of force of light psychology, which is also war. People think that being a good person is all just peaceful and kindness all day long. That's the divine feminine part of God that Jesus talked about. You know, the love, the nurturing. That's what makes you survive. That's what makes you good. That's what makes you kind. This is the masculine part of it. So, of the light. You know how on the yin yang, there's on the dark side, there's still a white dot, and on the light side, there's still a black dot. That's because of the law of duality. God and the devil are the same side, two sides of the same coin. And you have to understand how the darkness works to know what intensity of light to bring, where to shine it, how to use it. And it takes a warrior's mind. And so that's what saved my life ultimately, was having the psychology of that kind of thinker. I could never buy into that cult. Very young, I felt trapped. Very young, I felt trapped, not because of the abuse, because I didn't know for a good portion of my life that was wrong. It was what I was being taught. I felt like constantly a snake needing to shed its skin, just dragging itself on everything. Like I was a fish out of water. And I never could totally subscribe on it. And I think it's just because I have a natural, I don't know, it's just a light that, you know, yeah, a lot of me is very dark. But I got that little white dot. I'm like that little lighthouse shining the path. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. I need to find the way out. I got to find what feels good for real. And I just have this ability to navigate darkness because of this story and because of wanting to really understand this, that I end up, you know, my dad called it very young. He said, I have lost puppy syndrome. I mean, I always collect the addicts. I collect the dark souls, the black sheep that just need to see that it's okay to be fucked up, but we have to, like, we have a mission, and that is to be warriors of good because of what we went through and the reasons why we're addicts. And, you know, you got to be able to like understand people's stories, you know? So that was a rant. Boom. We need like a freaking GIF or something at the end of my, yeah, something silly for like the long rant. Getting back to the video, though. Rumble's digging it. Instagram probably fell asleep.
Aquino was also an open Satanist. He never hid it, never denied it.
Aquino and his wife, you are a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army.
Correct.
Now, and how does the Army feel about you being head of the Temple of Set?
The Army has known about my religion for the entire span of my Army career.
Okay, so that was his sect, the Temple of Set. So that is, if you know anything about Set, that goes back to and Ra. Did you know that when you say amen, that you're actually giving power to an Egyptian god? Just saying, we need to do research on the program, the structure, the matrix.
Which began in 1968. And there was a reasonable amount of curiosity, as there has been all the way along, with what exactly is this strange and unusual thing. And I've talked about it in much the same way that I've talked here today on your show about it. And other than that, the Army has paid very little attention to it, the same as it would to anybody who was, say, a follower of Hinduism.
He's clearly autistic, which is not surprising. I mean, a lot of brilliant minds are functioning, high-functioning autistic, and so that's my comment.
Or of Buddhism or any other slightly unusual religion today.
So you just go about your Army duties and it's fine and
Yeah, you can be whatever religion you want to be in the Army. I'm an ex-Army wife and twice-ish. One we didn't really get married, but we freaking called each other that. But one was Wiccan, and it was on his dog tags. Like, they don't care that it's your constitutional right to be whatever religion you want, So, and Oprah's like, "What? You are allowed to be a Satanist in the Army?"
Okay.
Now here's the part people skip past. Aquino didn't write Mind War alone. His collaborative with retired Major General Paul E. Vallely. Fast forward. Vallely sits on the board at Turning Point USA. So take a step back. Strip away the merch, the slogans, the crowd noise. What is TPUSA actually doing? It's not just debating ideas. It's persuasion at scale. Changing minds, moving groups, steering perception. And when the same people tied to a psychological warfare playbook are embedded inside a movement built to shape mass belief, coincidence stops being a useful explanation. This isn't about symbols. This is about methods. Because Mind War doesn't care what flag you wave. It only cares that you don't notice you're waving it.
Yeah.
The strange...
Exactly. N. Williams, you better stick around, bro. He brought up a good point. He says, I thought love would be the first action by anyone. That's because those of us that do think that way see the good in other people, and we assume that because we're good. We're part of the light. But there are people that are destined to be part of the dark. It's all by God. Certain forces need to produce certain things to cause certain actions, because one action, by cause and effect, the polarity responds always. I mean, when you add water to a bucket and there's something in there, eventually the water will displace what's in the bucket. You turn the light off and now boom, immediately there's darkness. So, there's always a direct, immediate response. You turn left and now you automatically, what's behind you is now defined as right, just all in an instantaneous. So that again comes back to the law of duality, physics, part of, quantum physics and stuff. And it's just, that even the universe seems to be metacognitive, aware of itself. See what I'm saying? Huh? Any action will cause an equal yet opposite reaction. Yes, thank you. I can't remember the words because I didn't take, I didn't get into... Who said that? That is a physicist that said this, right? Albert Einstein. I couldn't remember. Say it again. Every action causes an equal yet opposite reaction. Yeah. I don't know if y'all could hear him, but I forgot it. I'm too high to repeat that. Every action causes an equal yet opposite something. Reaction, yeah. It's just the laws of physics. And it operates that way with our minds because our minds are interactive with our environment on a metaphysical level, on a consciousness level. And if we do not start waking up to that we can control as a group, that's what Jesus was trying to get us to do. The kingdom of God is within you. If we do not start to cut through all this noise and start controlling these bad guys just spiritually with our minds, this will not stop. I was in a Walmart and I'm tall, but I'm not intimidating of like in a frame. My frame is not intimidating. I look dainty and all that shit. But I was in a Walmart a couple years ago when all these illegals were like, just everywhere. And no one in there spoke English. Everyone spoke some sort of dialect of Spanish. I didn't mind. It's cool. Like my family, half my family's from the Caribbean. Like I'm just chill with it. It ain't nothing. It's no difference to me. Now, I hear this hollering. Hold on, going back. What I do care about is that they're all illegal. And you should see how much shit they were buying. I was just like, damn, we were school shopping. I'm like budgeting like hell, right? And they're all just, jeez. Anyway, carts of stuff. I hear this fighting with these two men, and I don't know. I mean, it was getting intense, and everyone in the Walmart got quiet. Come on, for a noisy Walmart to get quiet, I was like, oh shit. I'm hearing this. Clearly, there's a white dude. He could not understand the immigrant who was speaking like all y'all who speak Spanish. You know what I mean when I'm saying it. It's just a certain way they speak Spanish. You could tell they're like fresh here and an immigrant, not being racist, just saying. They don't have that flow yet with Americans. They're just talking. It was just a lot. And I'm watching the situation and I'm just like, okay, there is one white dude who does not understand anything that's going on. And I see everyone in pack mentality behind this guy. And what happened was that this Hispanic guy, freaking immigrant, like ran his cart up on this white dude's back of his shoes. Oh my gosh. And they're just going at it. And I don't know what came over me, but I just knew right away. I was like, when I went over there to stop them, it was going to stop. And I was like, I went over there, got in between them like this. And I was like, nope, not today. I was like, there's children everywhere. I said it all in Spanish too. I don't know how I knew my Spanish in that moment because I'm terrible at speaking Spanish. But I'm telling this guy, I was like, no. I was like, there's all these kids everywhere. You are not about to do this right now. This is not going down. Period, point blank, no. And then he just like looks at me like this. And he just kind of looks around at the kids and he's like, yeah, you're right. And then I tell the white dude, I'm like, look around you, dude. I was like, these people are from like third world countries and they are like pack mentality, man. If one of them pops off on you and you by yourself, it's going to be a huge thing. And there's kids everywhere. So just shut up, please, and go. And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, I could not believe that happened. I was like, what? Okay. So that's my point is you just have to like mentally start just owning these people, just being like, no, like the force, like, like you're not doing this. No. But I think really what it was the power of Christ just compelled me. I just knew God had my back because it was really a compulsion. And it was like somebody said, go shut them up. And I was like, yes, sir. And I did my little job. And I just knew they were going to shut up because I knew something bad was going to happen. Because it was one of those things that would have been on the news because it was just so packed and everybody was just acting like it was all the items were going to be running away. So Backwater's probably over here like, shit. He's probably like, I cannot believe she just said all that. Hey, conservative Guido's in the chat. I let them know that you and I will be getting together to do a podcast soon. So thanks for popping in. And Dean Dog says, thank you for sharing your information. Always ask questions. Absolutely. You always got to ask questions. Seth's over here like, I have 7 BMI. Oh, really? You probably should eat more. Oh, Thomas says, thanks for sharing. First time listening to my podcast. Welcome, Thomas. And now my chat just froze. Ah, shit. The computer's stuck. All right. Old Faithful is back online. This trusty little MSI. It's a gaming. We're doing this from a gaming laptop with a busted screen. The laptop's amazing. Yeah, it's doing so much right now because we have TV screens, 2 cameras, and soundboard, and 2 platforms streaming. Yeah, it's like, but at least no punches flew before you got there. Shit, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Garcia. I think I just felt it buzzing in the air, like my spidey senses. I was like, oh no, I am not trying to have a whole ass crowd going in a fight right now. I got 2 kids with me, and it was just like, mama took over and was like, let me go handle the children. Let me get the big ones first. Like, just sit down. I know I had that mom look. And they were like, yes, ma'am. I was like, no. But I just, you know what? One of my old bosses told me I was an alpha, and I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I don't want to tell nobody what to do. Like, I am not the one that's going to be like, hey, let's go start a fight. I'm not the leader. But if there is a lack of one, I'll step up. Just don't try to alpha me either. But I guess it doesn't have to be that. It's just this energy, I guess, that people just fucking respond to. I don't know. That can make it hard to have female friends, to be honest. Like, no one wants to be friends with me. They're like, bitches are so judgmental. They're so judgmental. Like, I gave up on having female friends. Honestly, actually, I have good female friends. They're all older than me, and that's great for me because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it doesn't work. You can't be friends. Like, I don't know. The older ladies, they live in their good lives. They got no reason to worry about me. But bitches my age, they some bitches. Okay? And that's a wide range of bitches because no one can tell how old I am depending on how I do my makeup. Because black don't crack, baby. So the younger girls, they just love me and they're great. I think they're pretty great. Like the 20s somethings, they think they're pretty great. Yes, Roger, I swear like a sailor. Maybe that's because my grandpa was a sailor in World War II. And they're all Viking, Scottish, Pictish men. So it's just in my vocabulary. I can't get it out. It's part of my ancestral DNA. Can't control it. So sorry. Yeah, the video's done. All right. Let's watch Iranians protesting. I think it's a fucking balls. I seen this 70-year-old lady out there fucking fighting. Took a blow to the face and she bleeding. I'm like, man. I was like, I get it. They're at the point of no return, man. It's like, what? They're tougher than us because we've been spoiled, y'all, and we're trying to sound the alarm. So the lighthouse you see far off the coast first before you even hear the alarm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So, yeah. Look at this shit. Our morals are so confused over here. These people are fighting for their freaking freedom because they don't want to live under Sharia law. You know? And we're over here like with the rainbow cult. Look at that in the crowd. Like that when Charlie Kirk got shot, they were celebrating that. And also, if she had actually run him over and killed him, they would be fucking celebrating that. These are evil freaking people that the media is focusing on because they want younger people to think that this is what we stand for. So don't have it on in your house. Don't let them see that shit. And monitor your kids' social media. I don't care how uncool the parent that makes you, but you have one shot with each kid to do it right. So don't let the reason be that you didn't speak up when you know you should have, but you were just too worried about being more of their friend and being liked by them than protecting them. See, I know my daughter's gone out there, and I've went public about that because I don't truly know like what is going on, and my daughter's probably very angry with me about that. However, what I can tell you is what I know about my daughter is the apple didn't fall too far from the damn tree. And I know for as much she probably is angry with me, when she goes to think about doing something stupid like going and protesting over something despicable like this, I know she hears my voice in the back of her head saying, excuse me, what do we stand for? Because I told her the truth. And either way, whether you try to be their friend or whether you try to be their parent, they're going to find a reason to be mad at you. They all have to, I'm tough and I'm my own person. And sometimes it's extreme and other times it's typical. But they always do it. So just tell them the truth so they're equipped with the right tools when they go to bail out the nest. If you have one that does that, or you think might do that, or does it and comes back and doesn't and comes back. Boundaries are everything. And that's what happened that night. We set hard boundaries that had to do with behaviors that aren't healthy. We make mistakes, but those mistakes we made, my sweet, are the reason why we said and did and everything we did. Those set the boundaries because we didn't want you to make the same mistakes as us. And generational legacies of pain seem to keep going because we keep repeating our parents' mistakes, no matter how hard we try to keep our kids from doing that. Captain BS, being a parent, though, I will tell you, I would never, even knowing all this was going to happen, if a fairy came to me in a dream and when I was 20 and said, all this is going to happen, I would still want to be a mom. I would still want to have her because it just changes you instantaneously, like all in one split second. Like as fast as you flick a switch and a light comes on, boom, you just, unconditional love is like, just like downloaded into your brain. You know, so problem is this world got our Gen Zers really confused about what unconditional love is. I think Gen A saw a little bit of that madness in some young Gen Zers. There's some hope with them. But the ones that hit preteenhood, we can open up the hotline now if anybody wants to call. But the ones who are in preteenhood during COVID, not tragedy, they seem to all have a spike in anxiety and coping mechanism issues. And the trans community really took advantage of a really vulnerable group and really confused them on what unconditional love is. Because unconditional love is telling your kids the truth that hurts, knowing it's going to hurt them, knowing it's going to cause a huge fight because they just don't understand, but you have a duty to protect them and their psychological health and their physical health. You know, there's certain times where this Marxist machine, this mind virus, seemed to have plucked out certain group of kids, and the goal is to exponentially double. It's very culty what they do. It's my daughter's. I found out in one of my daughter's writings, she's a freaking Marxist. She's a damn Marxist. I was more heartbroken about that because their father is Cuban. I was more heartbroken about that than I was the gender stuff. I was like, what? This is what you stand for? Like, this stuff is dark and this stuff is evil. I just was shocked. And they have them so brainwashed that she wrote in one of her writings that she doesn't even want me going to her funeral if something should ever happen to her, and has made arrangements to keep me away. This is how far this went, because in her mind, I won't accept the real her, when all I've done is fight for the real her because someone told her what to believe about herself. And I have that in writing too. And she made attempts to tell other kids what they were. That's not normal. Telling people what they are. We all go through the same journey in life. We fucking figure out what the fuck we are all by ourselves. This is not any sort of ideology that must be explored. Am I bi? Am I gay? Am I trans? What are you talking about? Just live your life. Stop worrying about that. Because my daughter was not that. There would have been signs very young. Very, very young. And not a soul. Not a teacher. Nobody told me, hey, your kid is like having some issues, in kindergarten. We're really trying to get her to go in the girls' bathroom. She keeps going in the boys' bathroom. No, nothing. There was nothing anybody said anywhere, because it never happened. She isn't. She is confused about who she is because Marxism takes away your identity. And in her writings, there was so much self-hatred, so much comparing herself to me. I couldn't tell at times if she hated me or was obsessed with me or what it was. It was this weird mixture of almost like the things she actually likes about me, she hates about me. Kind of. And there were so many times I tried to open up to her, but they get her to open up to me because I could see that I could watch her. It was like the longest slow motion black hole of something sucking my kid into it. And we kept trying to protect her. But people in the school system were aiding and abetting her, giving her phones that we didn't know about more than once. Money. It's bad what happened. They teach the kids that the parents are your enemy. And I know this for a fact because I was sitting in, during COVID, I decided to supplement my psych degree and take one of Harvard's online courses. And I took neuroscience and then children's rights. I had to drop out of the children's rights class because the neurodivergent class was, the neuroscience class was hard as shit. I'm a straight A student, and that one was hard for me. So it was great, but the children's rights class was halfway through. I'm like watching a slide on how the parents are the number one enemy for kids because they're the most powerless when they're with their parents. I'm like, and they compared them to Nazis, and they're telling people that we're just evil monsters that have power over you. I dropped out right then and there. I'm like, I can't do this class. This is crazy. No, parents should be protective of their kids, period, point blank, full stop, and no one should get in the way of that. Ever. That is your God-given duty. It's your duty. Like, you won't go to heaven if you don't protect your children. So don't proceed to lecture me about how No, you just think all of us are bad? That's what you're teaching these other teachers taking your class, is that all parents are evil? What the fuck? I was just beside myself, and this was in Biden had just won, quote unquote. Biden had just stole the election. Or Biden's socialist overlords did it. I don't think he knew what was going on. Poor soul was freaking... That was elder abuse, honestly. Fucking poor guy. He was a horrible person. He was a racist. But, like, a real one. But at that point, when you're that old, like, that's just gross to watch. But yeah. Anyway, all right, we can close the hotline down. You look so good in a sweater. Go to Instagram. Yeah. You look so good in your sweater.
Oh, you look so cute in your turtleneck. Winston? Are you honking? Oh, you're such a good boy.
He's so cute.
Is there snow out there, Winston?
He's just like, I have a cat like this that has a conversation with me.
Good thing you're nice and warm in here. Got your heated seat on? Yeah.
I forgot what breed that is. They have like droopy
such a
faces
good
and like
boy.
huge ears. I can't remember what that is, but they're
Yes,
so
you
cute.
are.
Aw.
You look so good in your turtleneck.
He's just still going.
You look so good, Winston.
Now he's getting sleepy. You heard that?
You tired?
He's like,
Ready for a nap?
oh
You
my
are?
God, he's precious.
Winston?
Oh, that is precious. That warms my heart. He was like, okay, now I go to sleep now. He's so chill. I have a girl cat like that. She's white. She's a calico, but white and orange with some black, more white. I don't know. She's pretty. More white. But she's like that. She has to have a whole conversation. She loves to talk. And they know when you're asking a question because your inflection goes up. And she likes to go outside and walk around. And she comes back when I call her. So how am I supposed to just... how am I supposed to go into it?
Just straight up tell them you're Rumble Live and you need to pay for all this equipment. You got a live rate.
Okay, let me get through one more video and then I'll get to that. All right. Oh, abolish the police. Oh, more smart shit. Yay.
Can I join you? So, are you with the Abolish the Police people?
Uh-huh.
Can I join?
I love this guy.
Okay, sorry I'm early, so.
Me too.
Okay, and so my only concern if we abolish the police is what are we going to do about all the gun violence here?
Background checks.
Okay, so, and what about ICE? Do you want to get rid of them too?
Yeah.
Okay, isn't ICE basically doing what your background checks and gun laws do?
Huh.
Well, ICE, they track all the illegals that are in the country, and you want stricter gun laws to track the guns in the country? So why do you want to keep one and get rid of the other?
Because?
Okay, but so you want to track the guns in the country, but not track the illegals that are bringing the guns into the country.
Undocumented.
Okay, well then the guns aren't going to be illegal when you make the laws. They'll just be undocumented guns living in sanctuary homes.
Man, get up out here.
What? No, I'm joining your protest.
No, I'm about to go inside and get the police on you.
You're going to get the police on me, the same ones you want to abolish.
Yeah.
Good thing you haven't abolished them yet. So, alright, I'll just walk with you. That's alright, we can keep walking.
Bro.
Well, now you sound like a right-wing Nazi. Why are you trying to deport me?
I'm gonna
You're getting the police that you want to abolish 5 seconds ago? All right, bro.
Oh my god. I've seen other videos like that by him. He is hilarious. All right, guys. So I'm going to get back to a couple videos in a minute, but you know, your girl has a job to do. I got studio equipment to pay for, so I'm going to have to read you guys an ad. So let's see. mygoldguy.com. If you've been paying attention to the direction this country is headed, you already know our financial system is being intentionally sabotaged. Inflation is not a mistake. It's draining your savings while the political elites consolidate power. Every time Washington prints another mountain of cash, your dollar becomes weaker, and your future becomes more vulnerable. This is why you need to go to mygoldguy.com/rumble and get in touch with My Gold Guy. He isn't like the big name gold companies that bait people with free gold or silver coins while quietly inflating their prices. That is deception disguised as generosity. My Gold Guy refuses to play that game. He is a no-frills, America First precious metal dealer whose mission is simple: give you the best possible price so you can protect your wealth without the gimmicks and without the smoke and mirrors. Go to mygoldguy.com/rumble and fill out the short form and request your complimentary consultation. He will give you real information about the economy, the instability ahead, and how physical gold and silver can anchor your future when everything else starts shaking. And when you sign up, you'll get his free gold and silver guide, which every American who cares about financial security needs to read about now. Do not wait. Do not assume things will just work themselves out. Protect what is yours. Visit mygoldguy.com/rumble today and get your consultation and get the guide. This is the time to act. That was, when you scrolled, I could not see. Everything looked really blurry. So you have to wait till I get a breath to scroll. Huh? Because, like, yeah, I totally read that. I was like, ah.
First time. You did great.
Nah, it's fine. It's kind of like interrupts the flow, but it's all right.
You have shit to pay for.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you guys were to donate, I wouldn't have to read ads. Anyway, back to our videos. Finally, someone is saying it.
Federal agents, ICE, HSI, are officers. They are agents of law enforcement. If you box them in with vehicles, it is reasonable for them to believe that they are being ambushed and that this could end in a deadly situation. And it's reasonable for them to use force based on those conditions. Do not box in any law enforcement officer. You are breaking the law when you do that. And you are putting yourself in danger. Following law enforcement agents around. The question is why? What do you plan on doing? It's also reasonable for them to believe that you're eventually going to do harm to them. If you ram
common sense.
any vehicle, especially that one that contains law enforcement agents, and that's any law enforcement, local, state, federal, county, and you do this intentionally, this is considered deadly force. Deadly force is anything that can cause great bodily harm or death.
Derp.
When you plow into a vehicle that contains law enforcement agents, you're using deadly force. Federal agents, ICE.
It's sad it even has to be said out loud. Like, what have we come to? If you read I did a little post on that statute. It explains very broadly how to perceive a deadly threat on purpose. Because there's a lot of ways you can kill someone. There's a lot of things you can use as a deadly weapon, and they cannot possibly define that. That law packet that code would be so tall. I mean, they can't put all that in the legal code. They gotta make it broad for a reason. And let you argue that in court if it's really that nuanced, I guess. But this isn't that nuanced. She came at him with a car. This isn't Karen Reed. It's really sad. I mean, death is never good. Those kids, now it's questionable what kind of environment they're in, but they lost a mom. And that mom was being pumped up by sick, dark psychological overlords being paid. That's why they were so confident to act like assholes. And that's why I made that video about the privilege. I thought you want to talk about white people who are successful and blame it on them being white and then go act like that. You acted like you wouldn't get shot because you're white and you're a girl. You acted like a fool. I just think she had enough common sense somewhere under it all to go, I know what risks I'm taking. She just didn't care. That's my opinion. Everybody knows why we shouldn't act like that around the cops, especially if you grew up in the city. All right. The hidden trade.
The pedophiles in the 1% in banking, in government. Remember Denny Hassert? And I would throw in Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein. Pedophiles are female, not just male. So what's happening now is these people who have been kidnapping children or buying children without birth certificates. There's two ways to get children without birth certificates. One is to buy them from a lowlife that gives birth to children as a cash crop. And that's one of the dirtiest little secrets of America. And the other is to have them imported by CIA, the military, Dynacor, and others from Asia, Africa, Haiti, the Clinton Foundation, and so forth. Hillary Clinton was at the intersection of treason, pedophilia, election fraud, and charity fraud. Those are the four big ones. The weakening of the nation state and liberalism to include the loss of values, the normalization of pedophilia and bestiality and theft and corruption and all of this. This is all part of the globalist agenda to make all of us farm animals. Okay? The pedophiles in the 1% in banking, in government. Remember Denny Hassert? And I would throw in Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein. Pedophiles are female, not just male.
He's gutsy. He's like, I'm just gonna call her out. Yep, it's you. Damn. What's this guy's name? Ascension Rise. We don't know. All right. You. Everything else goes back to their dark religion. Everything. Okay. Should we sell Greenland? Should we sell Greenland?
Should you sell it? Well, you've got the alternative is they take it. So, I mean, no offense to your fine military. Okay, why don't we just have a quick game? I'm just going to ask a question. Hands up, who has a military where They can't even afford blanks. They've just got to say bang. Yeah, it's you, isn't it? It's fucking you.
Should we sell Greenland?
Should you sell it? Well, you've got the alternative is they take it. So...
Hey, Jacob. Jack says truth. Oh my gosh, now I have to catch my breath from eating. Hold on. Let's see. Oof. Yeah. Okay. There was just a lot of chit chat. Yeah. Oh God. I already see a face. I don't know. We'll see. Walls gets cooked.
Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens in the United States who are here? Isn't that their responsibility?
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience. It's not an either or.
Nobody said an inconvenience. You have a responsibility to deport illegal aliens, and the president is going through that process right now. And let's be very clear, the previous administration, they abused every process there is under border laws to allow more than 10 million people into the country illegally. And this is a burden on all Americans. And so the president is doing his job. So it is sick to refer to Americans who are ICE agents as Gestapo. Governor, you're wrong. You need to apologize to these agents. They're doing their jobs. They are Americans. They serve this country with honor and decency and respect. Do not diminish their work simply because you tried to make a cheap point that you could tweet. I yield back. Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens?
And then Tampon Tim's just sitting there looking like a tampon. He's just like, ding, ding. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I wasn't trained for this. Sheesh. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just about to tell you. Hotline's going open if you want to call into the show. You just, yeah. Call me on my cell phone. Tin, 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 tin. You know that Drake song? Fuck Drake, though, for real. The listener hotline is now open. You see it, 904-530-1422. Anybody can call in. 530-1422. 904-530-1422. It's open if you want to have a chat with me. Don't be scared. There goes my light blinking. I only keep it open only so long, so I'm going to play a video. I will hear it ring when you call. All right. I can't believe liberal protesters aren't taken seriously.
Good, let's take it all the way around this audience. Let's take it all the way around this audience right here. You guys stay right where you're at. You're perfect.
I'm doing a conga line. This is disturbing.
Really, you let that audience have it. Good, let's take it all the way around.
This is so retarded. They look like, why is it? Judge Joe Brown called it the rainbow cult. Why is it that they do this? Like, I don't understand. Let them do their job. What the fuck? Golly. Ugh. It's infuriating. Fag patrol, Jack said. Da 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 da. Fake and gay, folks. That's fake and gay. I've been saying that before Candace started saying that. Candace started saying that like a year ago. I've been saying that for a while. Ew, Seth. Behave yourself. What are you doing? All right. Next video. It's illegal to do what in Florida?
He flew to a foreign country, Israel, to sign a hate speech law for Florida.
If you look at the statutory definition of anti-Semitism here in Florida, it actually says that criticizing the Jewish state, that would be Israel, holding them to a double standard, denying them...
It's against the law to criticize Israel.
Yes. So if you're a college student at FSU and you're having a...
I couldn't say anything for a really long time. Everyone was like, what is it? I'm like, yeah, I know. DeSantis does so far. He just, yep, there were certain things I was waiting for him to stick for it to come out, but this is what it is. He is the backroom meetings, this is it. So Pam Bondi, the AG, is from Florida too, and she said hate speech is illegal, and I was like, what? No, it's not. No, it's not. So you just went over there. So how is it illegal? How you're signing a law for Israel, for our state? You're going over there to sign a law that they want against every state in this country. So you went over there, signed it, and we are supposed to follow Israeli law? What the fuck is going on, y'all? Everyone thinks, oh, you're a racist. No, it's not that. It's I want to know what fucking government I'm serving. That's all that means. And it seems to be the Zionists. Lord have mercy.
Good faith debate, and one of you says Netanyahu is a war criminal, you could literally be punished and expelled from your taxpayer-funded university.
Why would DeSantis, who is smart, if nothing, not a warm person, obviously, but he's definitely not stupid, why would he go along with something like that?
It's a great question.
Ooh,
he flew to a...
Tucker for governor. Y'all call me. Call me about that. This pissed me. Oh. And when I heard Pam Bondi say it, I was like, oh my God, it's true what I heard about DeSantis. It's true. See, they don't want to be shot. That's why people are getting shot at. And shit's getting burned down. So DeSantis, in order to protect his life, went over there and did his little duty to not tell us what laws we're now under. We're under Israeli laws now. Excuse me. I'm American. I hope you guys don't forget that too. I am depending on you guys. In 3 minutes, we'll be taking a break. So if you want to call, we'll be taking a break to read an ad. So if you want to call, you got to do it in the next minute or so. All right. Yeah. You can mute them. You can take it off and mute the hotline. I'm gonna read the comments. MC says, "Follow the money." Lived in South Florida after college. Doesn't surprise me. MC says been saying that for 20 years. No. It means that there's one law that they want and care about. It means they don't want us saying things that expose the matrix, that who's really running everything, the shadow government. They just don't want, that's why your speech has to be limited. You cannot say what you think and feel or know to be the truth. When you silence the truth, I mean, think about it. They're brainwashing Christians that you can't be Christian without Israel. Excuse me, you murdered Jesus and you believe that he is burning eternally in fire and excrement? So, fuck you. I don't owe anything to you. And why have you brainwashed everyone for that? What? Oh, right. Epstein went around and got everything on everyone. Oh my God. And DeSantis went over there. So what they got on him? Not saying that there is, just makes me wonder, because every time someone goes over there and cooperates with them, it seems to always be because they have to. Or they right, or they have something on the person that controls them. Which is why they did not want Luna Lopez getting into office, because Luna Lopez would be like on the megaphone. Like, y'all want to know how this works? They'd be like, no, we can't have you in office. Yeah, this is a puppet government. That's why Trump was such a problem. Our country is a corporation owned by Britain. It is a puppet, like, government. And Trump is not part of that. He's only like all people who are descendants of Britain. He's like a 34th related to the crown. It's like he's not, first, second, third cousins. He's not like that related, like the Obamas and the Bushes and all that, the Clintons. It's all a bloodline. It's the all the families against us peasants in the world. How many billions of us are there now? Like 9 billion. We're getting too many. They want to reduce the pop. The overlords want to keep their money. I don't know what you mean, go find Tanner I called means. I don't know what that means. Go find Tanner I called. I don't know what that means. All right. Mm-hmm. Oh, he probably did, but I don't know how that is. That's why they forced the jab. Yep. I agree. All right. We are going to read another ad from our partners here at Rumble. And then we'll get on to some new videos. You've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock the exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. All right, I should probably just scroll it. That way I can do the read ahead of myself. Okay, next video. I bet you're wondering why you should date Doug. Yeah.
I bet you're wondering why you should date Doug. Well, I'm one of a kind. I'm great. I'm somebody who will always open the car door for you and close it. I would open the door to a restaurant for you. How would it feel to be in love? Well, how would it feel to be in love is like, I would really, really, really like to know.
Oh my God. He's adorable though.
For some reason, you have come into my life, and I will be your prince. I will be a loyal soldier for you,
wow,
for your family, for all your friends.
Oh, well, now he's talking.
You will own my heart.
Oh, get better.
You will not rent it.
Oh,
You will
get
own
comfortable. You will
I bet you're
own it.
wondering why you should date Doug.
Oh, go Doug. I would date Doug if I was alive in my age back then. I would date Doug. I'd be like, he's just nervous. All right. Have one more ad I've got to read, and then I got 2 more videos, and then I'm announcing fan of the day. So, are you sure? We have to?
Yep. 2 or 3 it says. We got to do 3.
No. Oh, you have to do 3, right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, good. This is the one I wanted. Yay. Oh my gosh, if the computer would just go, though. What is this, though? Do you have that added? Make sure you have the ad overlay. Oh, good. It failed to accept it. So maybe I don't have to read another one. Really? Yeah. That is weird, though. See, it says last fetch 7 minutes ago. Yeah, it doesn't have a timer like the other one. Yeah, so it's fine. It doesn't have the timer. See, you have to stop doing that. That would be too soon anyway. He doesn't like to listen sometimes. What? Yeah, I know. So I was like, it's not a big deal. Because I don't think there's like per session. I don't think it's per session. But yes, I would date Doug. All right. Yay, I don't have to do another one. Let's not have a conversation, I guess.
Are you out here today?
Because the occupation of America by ICE has gone way, way, way too far. It needs to be abolished. And
you could tell she was trying to remember her lines because the occupation of ICE agents on America. Paid protester. They're always in black too. Interesting. Oh, can you grab my candy? Thanks. They're always in black. Look at her sign is melting.
the people responsible need to be tried for their crimes. They've killed, kidnapped, and tortured Americans with absolutely no consequences, and it's time for consequences.
They're just saying this because they know a camera's on them and this is their lines. Tortured Americans? Shut up. No, they haven't. They are taking this so far. My God. This is their only plan against Trump. Just try to say things that aren't true. Have someone believe it. Join up. Create more little minions. Here's your script. This is crazy. You could tell she doesn't believe this shit. She's doing a job.
Should protesters interfere with law enforcement activity?
I'm not going to answer that. I mean, you don't look like a cop, but just in case.
I'm definitely not a cop. I'm an independent journalist, but
Wait, what need to be tried for their crimes. They've killed, kidnapped, and tortured Americans with absolutely no consequences, and it's time for consequences.
Should protesters interfere with law enforcement activity?
I'm not going to answer that. I mean, you don't look like a cop, but just in case.
I'm definitely not a cop. I'm an independent journalist, but I mean, I guess
she gave you the answer right there. Well, if you weren't a cop, if you were a cop, I'm gonna say the right answer, and the right answer is no. We shouldn't be interfering. But there's two different things that I can tell. Are you a minion or are you a cop? I have these pickle ones that I don't know if I want to eat, or these freaking nuclear warheads that I don't know if I want to eat. I'm down to, it's like the Halloween candy when you're down to like the shit you didn't really want.
Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, I love Tootsie Rolls though. I love Tootsie Rolls. I wonder what would happen if I ate these toxic waste ones on camera. Am I going to die? Let's find out. Let's find out if I'm going to regret this. All right. This fucking stupid girl fucking talking about ICE agents torturing Americans. She should be held accountable for what she's saying. God. If I was an ICE agent, I'd be wanting to take her to court over that shit. Because you're endangering my life. Making people believe I'm evil like that. Tootsie Rolls. Oh, that's a good song, yes. Did a Tootsie Roll. Let me see you do that. Yeah. Okay. We did. No. Play it. Holy shit. This shit is sour. Holy fuck. Oh man. I need to gather myself. Woo. It's just the equivalent of something being too sweet or something being too spicy. It's like you get this like weird relationship with torturing yourself. It hurts so good kind of thing. Like, why did I do that? I knew I would be in terror for a minute. Nuclear fusion. Toxic waste candy from DoorDash. Woo! My teeth are like, what the fuck are you put on me? They're like stinging. I'm gonna go back to my Sour Punch pickle bites. Woo. Okay.
In the situation where we saw the other day where a protester was shot by ICE, she was blocking the street with her car and not complying with law enforcement directives. Is that something that activists should do?
I'll say I think Renee Good is a hero.
Hero.
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
She gave her life for freedom, not just of the people that she was defending, but to inspire all of America. She shouldn't have had to. Absolutely, she should not have had to do that.
To make this
but that's the situation that America is in right now. You know, if you lived Germany 1944, you know, what would you have done? Would you have stepped up?
So do you think the situation where ICE is deporting illegal immigrants is parallel to Germany, 1940s Germany? Or?
Absolutely.
Because other presidents like President Bush and Obama deported...
You seem kind of MAGA. I'm not going to lie.
Kind of what?
Kind of MAGA. So, do you support ICE?
You know why she said that? Because you're asking me common sense questions. You're not asking me to say the stuff we all rah-rah over. We kumbaya over. That's how she knows.
For law enforcement, federal law enforcement, yeah. Enforcing immigration law, yeah.
Bye.
You don't?
No, absolutely. Obviously not.
Do you think we should just keep everybody can come in and there's no immigration law?
Absolutely. I mean, no borders.
No
borders. What good are they doing? What lives are they saving? None.
Every sovereign country in the world has the right to enforce immigration.
Okay. None. You saw what happened when the cartel just said, okay, we can just go out the back door now. What are you talking about? Women were getting snatched, man. All over the place. She's an idiot.
Law, have a border, choose who it lets into the country.
Bye.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to have a good conversation. No, we're going to talk to plenty of the protesters here today and see what they think. But thank you so much. Why are you out here today?
Because the occupation.
Okay. What's back up? Okay, well, let me get myself together here. She does need to be deported. She can go live in Mexico and find out if she really believes that we should just leave our back doors open. Okay. I really truly don't care about it. Megan Kelly is still pissed about Jupiro. I mean Shapiro. Jupiro.
I was called a coward by Ben Shapiro.
Megan said, quote, "My goal and my job here is to try to understand where Candace is coming from on this. That is a moral and logical absurdity."
The last text I have from Ben Shapiro said, "Our friendship is too important to both of us to make it depend on whom else we are friends with." The next thing I knew, he was standing on the stage at Turning Point calling me a coward for this very thing. So I am convinced now more than ever that there is a crew for whom everything revolves around Israel. The only thing that matters is whether you are standing up for Israel or not. You also must defriend anyone who is raising questions about Israel. I'd rather die than do that, because I'm not raising the fist and saying BLM at the table, and I'm not bending the knee to these bullies who think they can control me.
Good girl.
I was called a coward.
That helps make it, gives me a little inspiration because I don't have to worry. It's like, okay, good. I'm glad they're doing that, because who knows what they would unleash upon the regular folks if, you know, people just keep giving in. All right. All right. No, we can skip it. Pocket. All right, fan of the day. I think it's going to be Mr. N. Williams too. we need a little soundboard. Okay. So hit up producer Ryan.Lopez86 to tell him how we can mail you out my autographed kissed show notes. All right. It was fun. Good to be back in the saddle. I was not feeling good yesterday, so I didn't even do a subscriber show. My apologies. And, you know, Saturdays I'm just off. So, anyway. Go, Megan. Thank you for not being a folding coward. You're the best. You don't have to switch. I was trying to say goodnight. Sometimes I wish I could just do a lot more than I probably should. Good night over in Rumble Land. Good night in Instagram Live Land. I hope you guys have sweet dreams. Skull. Good night.